Right on, Damon. Thank you for joining the Market Pulse here at LVR.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Man, I've known you a long time. You've done a lot of business. You manage agents. What are you seeing in the market right now?
Well, you're seeing a little bit of a tapering off, if you will. So the sales are slightly down month over month and year over year. But for the most part, still, there's still activity out there. There's still opportunities for, buyers and sellers to transact.
If I'm guessing, you probably tell your agents it's what you make of it, right?
Yeah, I'm telling my agents, really right now is to diversify a little bit, right? Tighten up what you already have going on, what's already working, and start looking for, other streams of opportunity.
Yeah, this will be our 6th month of doing this. I like to bring in experienced agents that have sold homes over the years and in the market today, so we can tell the agents out there watching, what to do if they're not being guided where they're working. A few months ago, we had a little blip in time when the stock market really took the tank and rates dropped, and it looked like the market was just going to go off to the races. But overall, since we started this, the market's softened for about 6 months now.
Yeah.
And so we're still closing around 3,000 homes per month. But if you think about it, there are more people living here. You and I have been doing this a long time. There are more people here. There should be more units.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
my complaint. I would like to see more homes selling, not necessarily higher or lower prices or anything, but just more action.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a big factor in our market right now. We definitely need more units closing.
What would you change in the market? What condition would you change? Would you ask for lower rates, less homes for sale? What one condition, if you had the magic wand, what dust would you drop on it?
I think the general consensus for the most part is if we can get rates to a manageable level, I think that would open up some doors of opportunity in our market. I think our inventory is still very healthy, even though it's climbing. I think we're 75% up year over year in single family and more in condo townhome. But with some adjustment in the interest rate, I think that inventory can be bought up pretty quickly, and we're back to a pretty vibrant or more vibrant market.
What's the rate that you think really releases the floodgates and all those sellers that are stuck with, the 3? Is it 5, 5.5?
I would even say 5.75 to 6% would be a healthy rate.
Somebody would be more willing to trade a 3 for a 6 than a 3 for a 7, right?
Yeah, I think people get a little bit timid when they see things heading up towards a 7. That's kind of been what we've seen. We've seen it where it's dropped to, the 6.5 or a little bit lower, and you see the activity pick up.
We were talking before the cameras went on, and we were both agreeing that this is actually a healthy market in some regard, because buyers that need a little bit of help, want their broker fee paid, need some concessions, are getting it from sellers, because sellers they don't have the muscle. You remember that seller's market,
Yep.
They would say, hey, we're not paying anybody, we're not giving you any costs, and 5 days DD, and now they're more reasonable. So part of me is like, this is kind of a good market, especially for a buyer's agent, because you got many homes to choose from. If seller number 1 says no and seller number 2 says no, you go to number 3, and number 3 is like, I got to get out of here. Yes to the fee, yes to the concession. Absolutely. So I'm not sure that, some agents are complaining about the market conditions. They need to look in the mirror and say, what are they doing about it? Because 3,000 homes sold here. Somebody got a piece of that.
Oh, no question. I think it's exactly what you said. I think it's looking at the opportunities out there and making sure that you're educating the consumer on the opportunities that exist out there, because now buyers, even though the rate isn't lower, they do have sellers that are giving concessions and buying down rates. So there is some definitely opportunity for buyers to enter the market still. So I think it's the education part as well.
Staying in touch, right, is always the thing. Yeah. These clients of ours, and I've had this happen to me, I'm sure you have as well. Somebody you think is yours, locked down, all of a sudden you send them an invitation to a birthday or something, and it bounces back, and you look and they sold it to some website or some portal or something. And so it's always stay in touch. You never know, and I think the other thing that you and I agree on, we've talked about this before as well, the realtors are always going to be a part of the transaction. I know there's the Amazon effect, and we used to go buy our paper towels at the store, and sometimes we push the button now, but I don't think most people are willing to buy a home and do one of their largest investments of their life by pushing a button. I think they want a pat on the back. They're going to look at you or one of your team members and say, what do you think? And then there's that navigation point in the transaction where, well, who's going to pay for this? Or is this repair a scary thing? Because some things that you've seen on a report your whole life is nothing. To the first-time home buyer, they're like, oh my gosh, windowsill or argon gas or argon. You know what I mean? They hear these things. So I'm a firm believer, and I want to reaffirm to everybody out there and make sure you agree that us realtors are like the core of the business, and we're always going to be in the middle of it.
Oh, no question. I don't know that will ever change, really. Just a normal consumer doesn't know the transaction process. They need hand holding. They want to feel confident that they're making the right decisions through the entire process from start to finish. So we're definitely a staple, and I don't think there's anything really in the near future that's going to change that.
Now, I agree. Even the pros, people that have bought and sold 10 or dozens of homes, they like second opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you go to the doctor, you don't go to the doctor and say, these are the medicines I think I need to be taking. You say, tell me what I need, right? I mean, in this way, we're the ones prescribing the medicine. Yeah. So I'm glad you agree with that. So we talked about how to work the past clients. What about, we have new agents joining, which I love. It's my most favorite thing I do here is I swear in the new agents. And they're just like I was 20 some years ago.
Absolutely.
So what do we tell them? We told the folks that have been selling a while, call your past clients, but literally these folks don't have credibility yet in the market. They don't really have past clients to call on. Is it open houses? Is it door knocking? How do you advise a brand new agent that just joined?
Yeah, no, I love that. And we do work a lot with new agents as well. And I want to say that real estate schools are starting to see a influx of new agents come on as well. So what I tell a lot of new agents is they need to make contacts. They need to make their daily contacts, whether it's 5 or 10 people that they're adding to their database on a daily basis. And then more importantly as well is focus on the 20%, not the 80%. Focus on the 20% that matters in starting your business, not the 80% of wasting time messing around with paperwork or talking at the water cooler. So stay focused on the things that are actually going to start moving your business forward.
Yeah, money-making activities, right?
Right.
Yeah, but talking to somebody in line at Starbucks and asking them how do you like this neighborhood is a money-making activity.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I do like it. How long have you lived here? Great. You got kids in school, right? It opens up, and maybe you got your badge on. Maybe you got your business card there. New agents have to make connections, right? They have to make contacts. And then if they joined a team or they joined a brokerage, that they have a mentor or somebody, that they can say hey, Damon and I, and because their sphere won't think that they're really experts yet, right? So they always want to lean on to somebody else that they can kind of partner with a little bit, although they can do it alone, but some choose to seem to go into the team or, join a company that allows for a little bit of help.
Yeah, I think mentorship is a huge aspect of a new agent's success right out of the gate. So if you don't have a mentor, make sure you attach yourself to an experienced agent, somebody that's successful in the market, and see if they're willing to help you, coach you, or train you, so you can start off on the right foot. Getting out, doing open houses, putting yourself in front of people is really a priority for a new agent.
And a first-time buyer, entry-level, family trying to buy a home, they like working with brand new agents because they feel like they're on this journey together. They don't want some old dude like me and dinosaur, with all my paperwork and everything. They want somebody that they can identify with. And so I think it's fine. They shouldn't feel like it's an uphill battle. Really, people don't judge, nor do they know.
Yeah.
I mean, there are consumers out there that they just want to see the house. Then they're like, well, how much is it? How much is the payment? These are questions all these new realtors can answer. So I'm glad you agree.
There's a lot of opportunity out there, and I always look at the current market conditions. New agents usually will have really an advantage in some cases because this is the market that they're entering. They don't know the 2021 over the top sales market. They know this market right here, so they can start building their foundation in this type of market and grow from there.
The BBRA, new agent has no fear. The vets, choke when they said, I have to go over this with you. They all got stage fright and sweaty. New agents tell me what to say. Tell me how to explain it. So
100%.
I think there are advantages actually to starting now.
Absolutely. Yeah. The learning curve is a lot less for somebody that's coming in. This is the way we do business versus somebody that's been doing it for us 20 plus years. And we have to shift our business strategies.
Plus, it moves faster now. Back then, to be trained, it took forever. It was all the courses were longer, it was all papers, and it was so slow. Now it's get you out there and go.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Final takeaway for anyone watching, agents out there at LVR that are trying to navigate this market?
Yeah, you know what? Mindset's very important. You know, stay strong. Look for doors of opportunity. I think 80% of people say they would do a transaction with their past agent, and only 10% did because of the follow-up. So make sure you're following up, staying in touch with your database, educating them on the process. You know, letting them know what's going on in the market. So if it's time for them to make a move or jump, you're the person that they're going to call.
I love it. You and I both have done, you know, lead gen and transactions with leads. Agents always love new leads, but they forget they have a plethora of opportunities of the people that actually know them.
Absolutely.
And if they just went to that well and got some buckets out, they would probably do okay. So
it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, just pull your phone out and look at your contacts.
Just go through A, B, C, D and call them.
I mean, that's a pretty good starting point.
Great advice, Damon. Thank you for joining.
You got it, bud. Thanks, George.
You got it.